Hello and welcome to ILTV's Israel Daily. I'm Aaron Porras, and coming up in today's newscast, Israel unveiling a number of new coronavirus regulations as the economy continues to suffer from the pandemic's fourth wave. Meantime, the United Nations coming together at the General Assembly in New York while simultaneously coming apart over the controversial Durban 4 conference. And finally, what could bring people closer during a global pandemic faster than some healthy online competition? The Sharaka NGO putting International Peace Day in check. To begin, Israel confirming over 8,500 new COVID infections overnight Tuesday, indicating a lower spread rate than in days past, but one that's still way too high. And Israeli authorities are still struggling to find a method for mitigating the virus's spread. 172,530 coronavirus tests conducted in Israel on Monday, at least 8,691 of which coming back positive, the spread rate at 5.12%. 710 people, meanwhile, in serious condition, 70% of whom are unvaccinated, and the death toll in Israel now hitting 7,567. Though despite the tragic figures, the rate of infection seemingly trending downwards again. The only problem then is keeping it that way. So the government announcing a number of initiatives. For one, from the medical perspective, the health ministry finally purchasing Regeneron, a drug shown to have potentially life-saving properties for mild and moderate COVID symptoms. Until a recent report on the matter, the drug was allegedly denied by HMOs due to its cost. Meanwhile, authorities officially launching a new GPS tracking system for the sake of quarantine enforcement. This after the program's pilot successfully ended in recent weeks. Tens of thousands of citizens receiving text messages from the Israeli police starting Sunday, with a link to provide the police with their GPS location. And should an individual choose not to opt into the program, police will increase monitoring activities in their area. Israel requires all travelers arriving from abroad to isolate for a week, after which they must present a negative PCR test. Israelis who've been vaxxed 3 times, twice in the past 6 months, or recently recovered from COVID are exempt. And finally, in a related program, Jerusalem now calling on the US and EU to adopt its Green Pass regulations with respect to Israelis traveling abroad. Under Israel's rules, as of October 3, Israelis who fail to get a booster shot 6 months after their second dose lose their Green Pass privileges, and without a Green Pass, citizens are considered unvaccinated. Israel is therefore asking that Europe and the United States likewise consider such individuals unvaxxed for the purposes of border entry eligibility.